Okay, hello ladies and gentlemen, Forrest Holman here, and welcome back to more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. Last time, we pretty much got Dr. Turner Gray, but what we don't know right now is how they did it. But it seems to me that all revealed today on this episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All, number 3. Nick? Yeah? Did you know that Von Karma's daughter is only 18? Just like me? Yeah? Why? I was just thinking about how strong she is. I mean, she's been in Germany all this time by herself, and she's so grown up. Yeah, and I'm sure she felt a lot of pressure from her father's reputation. And then you look at me and, well, I'm the daughter of the master, but I'm still just a little girl. And on top of that, I'm the suspect in a murder trial. But I think you're really strong too, Maya, for all you've gone through. Good. Oh, jeez. I do want to point out real quick before I say Pearl's line here. This is a reference toward the previous case. The previous game. 2 cases in particular. Turnabout Sisters, in which she was the primary suspect from the prosecution, in the death of her sister, Mia Fey. And then in the fourth case, in the fourth case, she was going through a hard time regarding her spiritual training. And throughout that case, she became more and more negative about herself because she didn't feel like she was contributing at all to anything. Ironically, she did help us ultimately by keeping this bullet in this evidence bag in her possession. If it wasn't for that bullet, we probably would not have won that case. Particularly, we just wouldn't have won that whole case. And at the very end, she leaves to go to finish her spiritual training, her spirit channeling training, and that's why we come here. And now she's involved in another murder. She's accused of another murder from the prosecution in this situation involving Dr. Turner Gray. Good morning. The two of you look like you're doing well today. I'm happy for you. Hey, morning, Pearly. Wow, Maya's mood changed in a dime. You'll be safe today, Mystic Maya. Huh? What do you mean? My mother's coming today to show her support. Yeah, that's right, Pearly. Hey, Pearls. Yes, Mr. Nick? Do you think you could do me a big favor? Could you channel Mia today, too? Huh? I was sort of hoping to sit in the audience today and watch. Please, it's very important to me. I don't feel confident enough without her help. Wow, Phoenix! Great words! Great wording you did there, you dumbass! Seriously! Mr. Nick, that's enough! You can't show weakness in front of the person you love. Pearly, not this again. Please, can you do it for us, Pearls? Alright, I'll do it. Alright. I'll do it. I'll do it for Mr. Maya's sake. See you later then. I'll leave you two to your alone time. Thank goodness. Nick? This way Pearls won't be able to see today's trial. What do you mean? What's going on? June 22nd, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. Time for the day, man. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Let's start already. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I look forward to tonight's news with great joy. The image of your defeated face will be transmitted all over the world. All over the world, huh? Sounds like you made quite a name for yourself, Phoenix. Don't be foolish, you foolish fool wearing the foolishly foolish clothes. The famous one is me. I'm the prodigy who has never lost a case since becoming a prosecutor 5 years ago. Naturally, the world's eyes were on me as I conduct my first trial in this country. That's nice, Miss Von Karma. Damn. She went from smiling to Phoenix to like, I don't care about you. Glad to see you in such good spirits today, Miss Faye. It's true what they say. Women really are scary when they fight. Now then, a very interesting theory was presented during yesterday's session. That the defendant could have locked the channeling chamber, correct? Yes. And this key is proof of that. This key, the only key to the channeling chamber, was not where it should have been. Your Honor, I would like to say one thing before we begin. All right, let's hear it. The prosecution has determined that from the time of the murder to the time of the arrest, the defendant did indeed leave the room at one point. What? But, Miss Von Karma, then how do you explain this picture? Are you saying then that the person in this picture is not the defendant? I never said that wasn't the defendant. Then what is the meaning of this? All I am saying is that Maya Fey, after killing the victim, exited the room. And I believe that is when she dropped this key. Can you substantiate your claim? Isn't that what I'm here for? The prosecution would like to call the defendant's aunt, Morgan Fay, to the stand. Just as I suspected. Aunt Morgan. Yeah. She seems really torn by this. Witness. Name and occupation. My name is Morgan Fay, and I am a spirit medium, in a manner of speaking. I'm sorry, but what do you mean in a manner of speaking? Oh! I don't think anyone really cares. Now then, after the murder took place, you kept watch over the defendant, correct? Yes, that is correct. I performed the spirit severing technique on Mystic Maya then. Spirit severing technique? A technique to remove a spirit from a body and send it back to the other world. That is... Quiet! Now, witness. Something happened while you were performing this technique, correct? Yes, that is correct. What in the world could have... Mystic Maya. She escaped from the room. What? And here we come to the heart of the matter. Maya Fey, while in a possessed state, managed to escape from the channeling chamber. Order! 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 Miss Fey, please testify to the court what happened during that time. Your Honor, I will try my best. I think someone just upped the ante on this trial. Witness testimony. Maya's escape. After we heard the gunshots, those two broke the door open and entered the chamber. I requested that Mr. Wright and the other lady please contact the police. A pistol was hanging from Mr. Maya's head and she was in a daze. Then, quite suddenly, she thrusted me away from herself and escaped from the room. With great strength, she hit the base of my neck and I fainted. I fainted for a short while. I'm afraid I have no knowledge of where she went after that. Why have you hidden this until now? I do not wish to cause more trouble for Mystic Maya. However, I must correct falsities when they arise. That's right. She is simply correcting a falsity. A falsity, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Why is she making it a point to make a stab at me? Never mind. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. My aunt is a very smart and sly person. It's going to be hard for us to find a crack in her testimony. Cross-examination. Maya's escape. See, we already know when she says those two, it's talking about us and, Lana, so, yeah. Was it really necessary to have two people do something so simple as call the police? If there was a possibility of escape, then one of us should have stayed behind. Yes, that is a very good point. At that time, I myself was a little confused. On top of which, there was another... Another what, madam? Oh, it's nothing. No need to concern yourself. I want to hear the end of that sentence. There was another reason you wanted both of us out of that room, wasn't there? You must testify! Why did you chase us out of the room? I simply did not wish for there to be more victims. The lives of both the good sir and that camera woman may be in danger. Is what I thought to myself. Well, that was very noble of you, Miss Fay. This is bad. Now people have a good impression of her and a bad one of us. Looks like she caught us napping. That's my aunt for you. Are you satisfied now, Mr. Wright? Miss Fay, please continue. That pistol was... During our investigation, you stated that you struck the defendant on the head, and this strike caused Maya to lose consciousness. Do you stand by this statement? I'm afraid I don't. The statement I gave you was a lie. But why would you lie about something like that? It is very painful for me to say this, however. Objection! The witness was lying to cover for the defendant. Was covering for Maya? So, you were covering for the defendant? Well, yes, it was only later that I was informed of what had occurred. After the day, Mr. Maya had done something very unexpected. Something unexpected? What? Pray tell did she... Oh! This witness didn't and couldn't have seen what happened. If you want to know what this unexpected thing was, there is always later. Yes, very well. Why does it suddenly feel like there's a rock in the pit of my stomach? Now, witness, continue with what happened. And quite suddenly, she thrusted me away from herself and escaped from the room. Was it really that easy for her to escape from you? I'm ashamed to admit to such a thing. However, yes. But you are physically larger and stronger than the defendant. There's no way she could have escaped from you so easily.
Objection!
Have you forgotten already, Mr. Phoenix Wright? What about this picture? Remember that at the time the defendant was not physically Maya Fey. Ah! Growing old is such a mysterious thing. Trust me, I know it firsthand. You see, but the problem with that statement is we already confirmed it wasn't Maya. Because if it was Maya, how did she go from having a bullet hole in her robe to no bullet holes in that robe? They're forgetting about that, technically speaking. Basically, Mystic Maya's body was still that of the nurse she had called. But if she had run away, wouldn't you have given chase right away? Well, yes, I would have. However, with great strength, she hit the base of my neck and I fainted for a short while. You fainted? I became dizzy and then collapsed onto the floor. How long were you unconscious? I'm not sure. About 10 minutes. Perhaps. And the defendant almost certainly went somewhere in that time. Happy? Witness, elaborate on that point for us. I'm afraid I have no knowledge of where she went after that. Is that because you were unconscious? Why, yes. Great. Well, now what? So while you were unconscious, you have absolutely no idea where the defendant went. I would think that's obvious, good sir. If that's true, then how can you know for sure that the defendant left the channeling chamber at all? Now that you mention it, I have to wonder myself. It's true that this witness is not able to confirm this. But the key word here is this witness. What do you mean by that? It means she has another witness up her sleeve. That's what. It looks like Miss Von Karma is ready to move on to her next witness. That's enough! From what I can tell, there is nothing wrong with this witness's testimony. And from what she has said, we can establish that Maya Fey did leave the chamber. I hope this isn't going to come back and bite us in the butt. Now let's take the next logical step and ask. Where did the defendant go after leaving the channeling chamber? Yes. That is exactly what we should be quiet, you! Now then, what the escapee had done was she had gone to speak with a certain person. She went to speak with someone? Who was it? The prostitution calls Miss Eenie Miney, who was sleeping in the side room at the time. Eenie Miney? I think you can see where this is headed. Witness, name and occupation. Okay, so my name is, Eenie Miney. I'm, researching, parapsychology stuff at the, university. What is this parapsychology? Let's see. It's, I guess most people call it occult stuff. Even if that's what most people call it, I can't say I understand what that means. Then I suggest you go home and research it yourself. Yes, sir. Now then, Miss Miney, after the murder took place, you spoke with the defendant, Maya Fey. Is this correct? Well, I guess. If that's the case, then let's hear your testimony. That is alright, isn't it, Your Honor? Yes, sir. For the love of all things good, Your Honor, have some spine. For my sake. Yeah, he just doesn't want to get on her bad side because she's got a whip. What do we got? A freaking finger pointer. Anyway, witness testimony. After the murder. Like, when the gentleman started, I was, like, sleeping in the side room. Like, a little later, someone came into the room, like, really suddenly. It was, like, oh my god, totally my sister. I, like, hadn't seen her in, like, so long. I was so happy in, like, a sad way. My sister, she, like, told me something, like, totally terrible. Now hold your horses, young lady. You're saying the person that entered your room, that entered was your sister? Don't you mean the defendant, Maya Fey? Really now, Your Honor? Maya Fey was still in the middle of channeling at that time. Are you saying that the spirit was the spirit of the witness's sister? Yes, Mimi Miney. She was a nurse at Dr. Gray's clinic. Oh, well, this is... Witness. Like, yeah? In your testimony, you mentioned a terrible thing. Why don't you tell the court what this terrible thing was? Like, do I totally, like, really have to? Of course. Miss Miney, please. My sister, like, this is what she said to me. That was no accident. I was drugged with sleeping pills. I was murdered by that person. That's why I took my revenge. It's only fair, isn't it, Edie? She took her revenge? Are you sure that's what she said? Yes. There. Are you satisfied, Your Honor? I still can't believe it. I can't believe that a spirit was... However, all of the evidence and testimonies point to this as the truth. The end. You know, she's very persistent for a prosecutor. What do you think, Mr. Wright? It certainly seems like all the loose ends are accounted for. Yes. His testimony just now. Was it all made up? Was it just one huge lie? Of course it was, Phoenix. Mia! What do you mean? It's well constructed, but that's all it is. But even the most well-spun lies can be undone. We can do it, Phoenix. Let's find that one loose thread and unwind this tapestry of lies. Your Honor, there is room for doubt, so the defense will cross-examine this witness. We believe that our cross-examination will reveal the real truth behind this murder. Yet again, the foolish fool spouts out more foolishly foolish drabble. I wonder if you'll make this one more entertaining than the last. Cross-examination. After the murder. Like, when the channeling started, I was, like, sleeping in the side room. We did see someone sleeping in the side room, so, yeah. Later, someone came into the room all, like, really suddenly. Like, oh my god, totally my sister. I hadn't seen her in, like, so long, I was so happy in, like, a sad way. But we're gonna go ahead and press all the statements just to be sure. Was that because of your sesame allergy, was it? Like, that's right. I, like, think there were sesame seeds, like, in the lunch they served that day. I had this, like, premonition that it was gonna be totally, like, it's gonna totally be a seedy day. Yes, indeed. I see. Am I the only one who missed the boat here? Anyway, so you were taking a nap. Did something happen while you were sleeping? You know the time? Like, maybe a little before 11 a.m.? Something like that, I think. 11 a.m.? Yeah, like, my stomach is totally ready for, like, food. No, I think you misunderstood me. I'm not asking what time it is now. I meant what time was it when someone came into your room? Oh, so, like, that's what you meant. Like, you should have been more, like, clear about it. Oh, whatever. Sorry, my bad. No, it's okay. Like, it's really... That's it? Why'd you stop mid-sentence? Did I? So, like, what was I talking about again? Never mind. Witness about this person who went in the side room. You know, she stopped mid-sentence, but we don't give the option to question her further about it. I guess? You guess? Was it or was it not your sister who entered? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, I totally don't know your sister at all, Mr. Smith. First off, my name is not Mr. Smith. Second, I'm an only child. But more than that, she's managed to mess up the question with her answer. Well, Mr. Wright? The defense rests. Well, that was a colossal waste of our time. Now then, witness, how did you feel when you saw Miss Mimi Miney? You were happy in a sad way? Yeah, like, I mean, it was my sister. But wouldn't most people react to it with surprise at seeing a dead loved one alive again? But, like, maybe I was, like, someone who didn't know about, like, the occult. But I, like, know all about the Korean channeling technique. The point here is that the witness immediately recognized that it was her sister. Yeah, like, what she said. Should I drop this line of questioning? So you really didn't think anything strange to the whole encounter? No. Like, there wasn't any reason for me to, like, think anything was strange. But... Ow! Don't keep badgering her. You know the phrase, objection? Could you try using that once in a while? Mr. Wright, this question of what the witness felt when she saw her sister, is it really that important? Actually, it is. It is very important. But I haven't quite figured out what it is yet. but I've gotta bluff for now and make it seem like I know what I'm talking about. Alright, Mr. Wright. Miss Miley, please amend your testimony. Like, okay, I'm like totally cool with that. I wasn't like scared at all, and like the costume was totally like normal. I think we can all agree where this is going here.
Objection!
Now, let me show you why, okay? She said there was nothing weird about it, okay? The reason why I went with this one is because... Do you think it would have been weird? It would have surprised... She said it looked normal. Since when the hell does blood on a piece of clothing, that much blood? Look at that attire. And tell me, seeing that, and somebody dare try to tell me, in a serious manner, that is normal. Because I can tell you right now, no the fuck it isn't. That was a very well spun lie, Miss Annie. What are you babbling about this time, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It's well constructed, but that's all it is. Stealing my lines now, are we, Phoenix? Miss Miney, may I remind you of what you said? You said that there was nothing strange about your sister's appearance. Like, yeah, and? But I don't think that's what you were thinking at all. Take a look at this picture. This is a picture of the sister you met. I would think that even you would be surprised if someone appeared before you like this. The blood spray. Miss Miney, why did you not include the blood you saw in your testimony? If you were really testifying and not lying, you would have noted it right off the bat. Order! Miss Miley, what is the meaning of this? Miss Miley? I'm thinking, don't interrupt me! And what are you stammering about, Your Honor? That witness, her personality did a complete 180 there. Lots of people do that when they get on the stand, though. First of all, calm yourself, witness. Like, I'm sorry, I, didn't mean to snap. Now, hurry up with the testimony. If you please. The judge still looks all shaken up. A lot of help he's gonna be. Witness testimony. After the murder, part 2. Like, the side room was, kinda dark, you know? So, the costume is, purple, right? The blood totally blended right in. And I, persuaded my sister it wasn't, right to do something like that. And then, I took my sister to the channeling chamber. Yes, now I see. And you have given us a few reasons for why you didn't notice the blood. You think? Thanks, Gramps. Are you satisfied, Mr. Wright? Alright, I guess not. I just love how Venus is like, what do you think? Oh, I guess not. Very well, you may question the witness. Cross-examination. After the murder, part 2. Really? Because I thought it was pretty bright inside that room. Don't push your subjective opinions onto this court. That's right. Excuse me, but how is my statement any more subjective than Miss Miney's? You are such a hopeless chaos. Witness, you may feel free to ignore this trite little man. Okay. Can't breathe. Let me out of here. So, like, the costume is like purple, right? You didn't see the blood? Like, yeah. But she must have had the gun with her at that time as well. That's, Are you going to tell me next that you didn't notice the gun either? I, like, totally did. All I was looking at was, like, her face. She literally got the weapon already, like, you ask one more question about this, I'm gonna whip you with my whip. Continue. And I, like, persuaded my sister it wasn't, like, right to do something like that. And what was your sister, Miss Mimi Mighty, like at the time? Well, she was, like, totally flipped out cause she just shot Dr. Gray. But I think, like, she knew. She, like, said she did something really bad. And, like, she said she wanted to go with me to, like, apologize to Miss Morgan. Did Mimi's spirit really say all that to you? Like, yeah. And then, like, I took my sister to the channeling chamber. Was your sister calm by that time? Like, I guess so. I guess maybe, like, taking her revenge on Dr. Gray, like, made her feel a lot better. I'd like to feel a lot better, too. Mr. Phoenix Wright. The sooner the better. She says with her whip at the ready. And, like, Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? May I ask you one more thing, Miss Mighty? Like, sure. Was there anything you found strange, unusual, or just out of place? Something out of place? Huh? Like, what do you mean? When you... I'm gonna save this because I want to see something here. I'm trying to make sure I pick the right choice here. So, like, cause there's nothing really strange in the side room. And I'm pretty sure if she were arrived at the crime scene, it wouldn't have changed anything, so... Go into the crime scene. I'm talking about when you were going to the channeling chamber, of course. Like, no, nothing strange. She answered rather quickly. Now what? Think harder! I know you can remember something. I, like, totally can. That's not good enough. You have to explain yourself clearly to this court. Do you think, Mr. Wright, that whether or not there was something odd on the way to the gentleman's chamber is all that important? I ask because it is very important. Not that I know where I'm going with this. Very well. Miss Mighty, if you will, please include a statement about this in your testimony. Like, I don't get why, but okay. I, like, didn't see anyone on the way to the channeling chamber. So you didn't see this little girl there. Objection! Because if you guys recall, Pearl was in the middle of... Because Pearl was in the... If you guys remember, during the time of the channeling chamber, like when the channeling was going on, at some point, Pearl was playing with her toy ball, and she broke the vase, or vase, however you want to pronounce it, that had Amy Faye's ashes in it. And she was trying so hard to fix it. She was trying so hard to fix it that it ended up going from Amy to, well, that. You say that you didn't see anyone on the way to the channeling chamber. However, that is impossible. Like, what do you mean? I'd like to introduce someone to you. This is Miss Morgan Fay's daughter, Pearl Fay. Interesting you have a semi-intelligent look on your face. So, what about this child? It just so happens that at the time of the murder, Pearl was playing in the center garden. The garden? Yup. Which means anyone walking through there would have to have seen her. So, Miss Miney, what do you have to say to that? No! As the court can see, she's a bit of an airhead. Also, she was leading her sister at that time. Do you honestly think she would have noticed a simple child playing? Preposterous! It's not preposterous, and I can prove it. What sort of foolish... There's no way someone walking along the winding way could have noticed Pearl. Oh shit. I'm doing one of two things. Yep. This urn is my proof. An old cracked clay pot? What is that going to prove? Do you know why it's cracked? It's because Pearl broke it. That's why. She broke the urn? No! Why? Why do I feel like you're about to ruin my beautiful day? This urn was broken around the time the channeling started. Ah! And Pearl was the one who put it back together. While sitting right in the middle of the winding way. What? Miss Miney. Pearl was there in the winding way at the time. She was hard at work, putting the pieces of the urn back together, you see. If you couldn't see that while you were walking, I'd have to declare you legally blind. I think I have sufficiently proven one thing, Miss Miney. You are a masterful liar! And... Mr. Wright, you need to watch what you say. The one who needs to watch what she's saying is the witness. So, Miss Miney, tell us the truth. About what? About what? About where you really were at the time of the murder, of course. The witness just testified about that. That was sleeping in the side room? Your lies end here. What do you... The witness says that during the actual murder she was asleep in the side room. And I say that's not possible because there's a contradiction? Where's this contradiction? It says, help me, Mia! You know what? I gotta see what Mia says here. Hold on a second. I gotta hear what she's gotta say here. I may have overreached on this one. Is there really a contradiction somewhere? Don't worry, you're on the right path, Phoenix. It might be a little hard for you to see the contradiction, but it's there. So just this once, do you want me to help you out? You know what, we're gonna do this... What we're gonna do is we're gonna have it two ways there. Because, let's see here. If she were... So we gotta think about this, alright? Let's try to think about this before we ask for her help, alright? She said she was in the winding way. But here's the problem with that. We have a folding screen. We have... oh man. Because if you guys recall, I'm probably overthinking this a little bit, but I'm probably overthinking this, and I'm probably gonna have her help me here, but I gotta think about this here for a moment. Because if it's in her testimony, it's in her evidence. I gotta think about this here. Was it in her testimony? If I had to take a wild guess, let's think about this for a minute. She says she was in the winding way, but she was leaving the winding way to go to the channeling chamber with her sister. But she should have noticed Pearl Fay. And now we need to figure out... oh shit, what do we need to figure out? I forget. Shit. Let's think about this here. See, the contradiction... would it be in the evidence? If not, it's either in her testimony, or... let's see here. Let's take a look at all the evidence before we do anything. See, this would not... none of these would help us here. Maybe the guide map, but not really the newspaper clipping. I'm thinking about this I'm thinking long and hard about this here. Because I don't like making any mistakes. Alright? Because this is such a crazy moment here, we gotta think about this for a second here. I was looking at Twitter. Sorry. See, I don't want to mess this up, and I I'm thinking so hard, man. I'm thinking so hard, man. I'm thinking... oh, man. I'm actually using a... See... Let's take a look at her testimony again. I'm using this thing here to do this testimony here. Yeah, so... Excuse me. I'm just studying what she said real quick. Because it... Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Okay, I see it now. Alright. So what we're gonna do... is we're gonna... You know what? We're gonna do this two ways, alright? We're gonna play this up until the next, either the end of the episode or till the next testimony, and then we're gonna play it again with Yes, Please Help Me, because I want to see how this goes. But I do know now after studying her testimony and the testimonies of Morgan Fay. And then, well, it might be hard for me to see. I can't just accept your help without thinking it through myself first. Haha. That's the spirit. Give it another try. Mr. Wright, what is your answer? Okay, time to add another book to the pile. The witness says that during the actual murder, she was asleep in the side room. Yes, she did. So... now the game is going to carry you along with this. So what it was where, as he's going to say, she said she was asleep in the side room, right? But yet there's... Well, actually, I'm going to let the game explain for itself. Because, you know, we're already at this point, so might as well, you know? The witness says that during the actual murder, she was asleep in the side room. And I say that's not possible, because there's clearly a contradiction here. A contradiction? Where is this contradiction? You can keep saying help me, Mia, if you want to. But I don't think we should. But anyway, yeah, it's in her testimony. Earlier in your testimony, Miss Miney, you made the following statement. And, like, Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? Yeah, she did. Now, how would she... Now, it is true, as you can see right here, kind of refreshing my memory, it is true that we were away from... It was true. Phoenix and Lana, who were the other two people there, did walk away, did leave the area where the channeling chamber was located. But how would she have known that? It's true that at the time both myself and Miss Hart were not there. We had gone to call the police. So? Like, what does that, like, have to do with anything? It's very simple. Miss Miney, how did you know that fact? How? I can see that Miss Faye was the only person in the channeling chamber. However, someone who was asleep in the side room could not have known that. Which means, Miss Miney, you did in fact go to the channeling chamber. But you didn't go there by way of the winding way. But, look at the manner of guide map. If one were to go between the side room and the channeling chamber, one would have to use the winding way. Yes, that's right, Your Honor. Which is why I ask this very important question. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Miss Miney, please answer the question. Don't ask a question off of a baseless assumption, if you please. Well, I suppose since you put it on the table, Mr. Phoenix, right? You might as well answer the question for us. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Now's your chance, Phoenix. Yeah. The only person who could have killed Dr. Gray was Eenie Miney. So now is the time to prove it. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Before we do that... Let's see what happens if we have Mia help us. Please, I need your help right now. Hold on. First, calm down, Phoenix. Good. That girl. She slipped up with her words. Her words? If she really was in the side room the entire time, if she just testified about something she shouldn't have any knowledge of. And what is that? The rest is for you to figure out on your own. Alright, so that tells you that. We're moving on. There's what you got there. Oh, then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Where was the witness when the murder took place? Where else than the channeling chamber? Because how else would she have known that if she wasn't in there? Miss Miney was here, of course. But that's the channeling chamber. Isn't that the crime scene? That's right. Miss Miney was at the scene of the crime. Order! That's... Wow! Mr. Phoenix Wright, have you lost your mind? Yesterday's testimony established that only the victim and the defendant were in the chamber when the channeling started. Yes, that is correct. Please explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Simple. Miss Eenie Miney was hiding at the scene of the crime. I was hiding? Where? Like, where was I hiding? It had to have been behind it, but how far do I gotta? Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to I'm trying to make sure I had to be very specific. And sometimes with these things, you gotta be specific. Here, of course. Behind the folding screen? Ah! Don't make me say this again. Recall yesterday's testimony. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen. See? You stupid jerk! Quit being so quick to pin it on me, slime ball! Now, Miss Miney, once so young as you shouldn't be saying, "Shut it, Gramps," as if you know exactly how old I am! I'm sorry. Looks like the pipe's about to burst. Guess I should help it along. The witness was hiding behind the folding screen with the help of this. Remember Alana said there was nobody behind there? What about that box? Miss Miney, how you were able to hide yourself at the scene of the crime is very simple. You were hiding inside this box. Ah! That tiny little box, no person could fit in that. Sorry, but your theory has already been disproved. Lana disproved you when she was hiding from me in it.
Objection!
But that clothing box was in the side room, right? Which means it has nothing to do with the murder at all. That's right. I was sleeping there, so I should know. That clothing box was there in the side room the whole time. Mr. Wright? Do you think you can prove where the clothing box was at the time of the crime? Yes, I can with some evidence. And now I present the piece of evidence that will prove this clothing box was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. The answer, actually, I was just looking at something on my phone real quick, don't worry. But the answer is actually very simple. If you guys recall, look at the description here. There's a hole that looks like a bullet hole about 8 inches off the ground. And there, about 8 inches off the ground, is a small hole that looks like a bullet hole. So, take a look at this clothing box. Just so stupid. As if there's any sort of evidence on that old thing. What on earth? I don't have time for you to sit there with surprise. Hurry up and say it already. There's a hole about 8 inches off the ground. A hole about 8 inches off the ground. Where have we heard that before? The folding screen. It had a hole at the same height. That's right. I hope this has opened your eyes to what happened. At the time of the shooting, the clothing box was sitting behind the folding screen, which is why the bullet from the pistol hit both the box and the folding screen. It went through the screen and then into the box. Miss Miney, you were hiding behind the folding screen, waiting for your chance. Yes, for your chance to kill Dr. Gray. Order!
Objection!
So what you're saying? Then, Mr. Phoenix Wright, what about this picture? Are you saying that the person in this photo isn't Miss Eenie Miney? That is exactly what I am saying. Miss Eenie Miney, you were hiding inside this clothing box all along. And you wore a medium's costume to masquerade as Maya Fey. To masquerade as Maya Fey? She had it planned from the very beginning. She would kill Dr. Gray and pin the blame on my client. No! Stop! I can't stand to listen to any more of this foolishness. If that's the case, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I have a proposition. This whole idea that the witness moved the clothing box to the crime scene, pretend to be the defendant, kill the victim, and then fled the scene of the crime. It's not possible for one person to do it by herself. You are correct. She actually did need help. And she got it. It really is impossible. For one person to do all the preparations, that is. Ow! Need I remind you, the foolish receive no mercy. Wait! Miss Von Karma, you said it was not possible for one person, correct? What? You can't be serious. Miss Miney, you had an accomplice. Who else would have gained something from this than Morgan Fay? This person! If it wasn't someone from Korean Village, you couldn't have gotten the costume. And if it wasn't someone from the Fay household, you wouldn't have that box to use. Morgan Fay. Isn't that the wonderful lady witness we had earlier? What do you have to say to this, Miss Miney? You shot Dr. Gray with your own two hands. Do you deny it? I think this is what really happened. The murderer had planted herself at the scene of the crime long beforehand. Dressed in a medium's costume and wearing a wig, she pretended to be the defendant. And then, the channeling started. The murderer crept silently towards the other two, both of whom had their eyes closed. First, she drugged Maya Fey with a strong sleeping agent. Then, she stabbed Dr. Gray with a knife. Next, she hid my client inside the clothing box. She did that so she could take Maya's place and frame her for the crime. But that's when something unexpected happened. Unexpected? Yes. Dr. Gray was actually not yet dead. With the last of his strength, he fired a shot at his attacker. And that is why the pole in the folding screen was so low to the ground. The murderer then took the gun from Dr. Gray and... After that, you and the other lady thought to break into the room? Yes. A gunshot is certainly something you wouldn't expect to hear. Which is why, upon hearing the shots, we forced our way into the channeling chamber. Miss Miney. She immediately covered her own costume with blood. And pretended to be Maya Fey. But that sort of deception would have been easy to see through. Which is precisely why Miss Morgan Fay chased us out. Yes, she did. Please leave this area to me. Go quickly and inform the police. Hurry, before there are more victims here. What is one supposed to say? This is the real truth behind the murder. Who is that? Laughing at a time like this? Ah! Oh, you simple-minded fools. I'm sorry, are you still by chance evolving? What is it this time? Miss Von Karma? Surely. Of course it was me. Do you really think someone of Von Karma blood would lose due to something this petty? What in the world? Mr. Phoenix Wright, your argument is flawed in one very crucial area. And that is, if this witness is the real murderer, why would she go through all this trouble? Huh? Working together with a medium, pretending to be one, putting on this whole act. What reason would she have to do such foolish things? Well yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Oh, and one other thing. Why would Miss Indy Mighty want to kill Dr. Gray? Where is her motive? Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say too. Yeah, motive. I don't have a motive. Motive. That's... I can't say she has no motive here. I have to think of a motive now. What was her reason for wanting Dr. Gray dead? The reason you wanted Dr. Gray dead is this. I think it may be the, yeah, I think it may be this one. I want to say it's the newspaper clipping because of that car accident. Ha! Just as I thought. You bore me with your silly answers, Phoenix, right? Yes. Yes. Because through that accident, you suffered a lot of hurt and pain yourself. Don't be stupid. No one has proof that Dr. Gray drugged my sister, right? And you want to say I wanted to take revenge based on nothing? What do you mean by that? Senile, stupid Gramps. I'm, going to explain, so, please listen, okay? It's been over half a year since I was discharged from the hospital. If I, wanted revenge, then, I wouldn't have waited this long. And besides, the guy that thought of the spirit thing was, Dr. Gray. It was, a total coincidence he asked me about it, you know? She's back to her airhead persona. However, you see, ouch! Pathetic, Mr. Phoenix, Wright. You failed to support your own theory. The end. I think we have our answer, Mr. Phoenix, right? What Miss Mighty has stated is very true. The revenge plan is overly complicated and she had no motive in the first place. Furthermore, there is no reason for Miss Morgan Fay to cooperate with this plan. You don't even have any truly decisive pieces of evidence to demonstrate your point. Tisk, tisk. So many faults, Mr. Phoenix, right? You should really learn your place. Urgh. What happened? I thought I had her for sure. See? It's just that I, told you. I hope you liked your slice of humble pie. Very well. I now conclude the cross-examination of Miss Eenie Miney. Hold it! Your Honor, please, allow the defense one more minute. All right. You can't lose here. Have faith in yourself, Phoenix. Mia. Yes, it does sound like a ridiculously messed up plan for a murder. But, you know, regardless, that girl trained for this crime. Really? Listen, Phoenix. Everything happens for a reason. There is a reason for why she had to kill Dr. Gray. And it is also the reason she had no choice but to kill him in this fashion. Time is up, Mr. Wright. Your final answer, please. If you want to say that you can prove Miss Miney had a motive then, why did she kill the victim in this way? Can you prove the reason? Can I really do this? I'm not totally confident here, but I know that I must press on no matter what. That's right, Phoenix. Only you can do this now. I will show and substantiate the fact that Miss Miney had a motive. Too bad. You're too late. My cross-examination has already ended after all. Interesting. I'll let you have your chance, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? You're supposed to be on my side. Aye! Avon Karma only cares about the perfect win. As long as you have the will to fight, I will knock you down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And I don't care if you are my witness. So help me, I will throw you out of my way. No way! Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. We will continue the cross-examination after we reconvene. Hey, wait a sec. To be continued. But we're gonna finish this episode off with the second half of the trial. Yep. And this is the finale episode for Reunion and Turnabout. Let's play the final part. June 22nd, 12:04 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Is it really true about my aunt? I'm afraid so, Maya. There's no way Edie could have killed Dr. Gray by herself. And under the circumstances, there's no one else other than your Aunt Morgan. That's terrible. Why? Why would my aunt... Everything is going just as I predicted, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Miss Von Karma! Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to take revenge on Nick? Nick had nothing to do with what happened to your dad. Don't you have something better to be worrying about? Say, your own situation? Looking down on me, even though we're the same age. Are you done yet? You've caused me enough pain and suffering. Not yet. My goal is to defeat you, and let the whole world know of your defeat. But even if you do that, it won't bring your father back. Whatever. In the meantime, let's bring this match to its conclusion. And then we'll know who the real winner is. Oh, pointing right at the phase eye. Boom! Anyway, June 22nd, 12:10 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? Can you prove Miss Eenie Miney had a motive? Yes, I believe I can. Eenie Miney and Dr. Gray have only one point of connection. And that is the car accident 1 year ago. The motive I'm looking for must be there. Miss Miney, please testify to this court about your car accident last year. Huh? I thought, you wanted to, ask about my, motive. I, don't see the point in, bringing up the past. Miss Miney, if you please. Okay, I totally don't think it'll do any good, but... Witness testimony. Last year's accident. That was, last year in May. Something really bad had happened at, my sister's clinic around then. The 12 people who, in case you're not sure what's going on here, it's referring to, this. How 14 patients died from malpractice at Gray Surgical Clinic. And, the night of the accident, my sister was totally tired while she was driving. I was, totally pooped too, so I, fell asleep in the passenger seat. I, woke up because of a jolt, and, it was a sea of flames around me. I, opened the door and, got away. I think I've heard of this incident. It was all the talk of the tabloid shows, day after day last year. Yes, and there was talk about Dr. Gray. Drugging your sister? Blah! Those were merely rumors. Totally baseless gossip. Yes. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. Right now, it's impossible to prove that Dr. Gray did in fact drug Miss Miney's sister. Yeah. Which means I'll have to work this from another angle. See, there is something we need to press her on, though, in that statement. She was totally tired? You mean exhausted? She had to talk to the police, and, it's being investigated, every day. It was, totally totally terrible situation. It's no wonder, then, that the car accident happened, huh? So then, why didn't you ask to switch places? Huh? What are you talking about? I mean, switch drivers. If your sister was so tired, then you should have switched with her. True. Ah, but, I don't, have a driver's license. This is news to me. I was not aware you didn't have your license, Miss Miney. Miss Miney, please amend your testimony. Okay. Anyway. I was totally picturing the passenger seat. See, that's Eenie Miney. She said she doesn't have a driver's license. I didn't have a license, so I couldn't take over driving for her. Then what the hell do you call this? Objection! Miss Miney. I know you had a license back then. This is a photo you took for the express purpose of getting a driver's license. What is the meaning of this, Miss Miney? Uh, um, uh, that's right. Yeah, I had like a license, but I didn't get it until after the accident. Mm-mm. No, you had it. You had it at the time of the accident. Director Hottie, or the guy pretending to be him anyway, said so. What, are you talking about that perverted fake clinic director? Yes, that perverted fake clinic director. And out and out! No one cares. Witness, when did you receive your driver's license? Like, last November. What? November? The accident happened last May. That's a half-year lapse in time, Mr. Phoenix, right? What in the... That's what happened, Mr. Wright. Are you mocking me, Your Honor? Fuck you. At the time of the accident, Miss Miney didn't have a driver's license. Ow! Crying my whip will accommodate. Anyway, without a license, the witness and her sister could not have switched drivers. I'm, like, glad you get it, but, like, even if I had my license, I, like, don't think my sis would have let me drive. Yow! Don't just stand there humming to yourself. Not you too, Mia. With the whip, and the pain, and the ow! Miss Miney, why do you think you would not have been allowed to drive anyway? That's because... I think this situation calls for a more detailed testimony. Miss Miney, if you please. Like, how annoying. Oops, like, sorry, didn't mean to be mean. Witness testimony. I wouldn't be allowed. Like, around that time, I was, like, really close to getting my license. My sis was, like, this totally big fan of cars and, like, really valued them. She, like, had just gotten this really shiny bright red sports car. She, like, would say things like, no way am I letting a noob drive my car. So, like, that's why I ended up in the passenger seat that night, too. I see. A bright red car for sports. That's not what she means, Your Honor. Now then, the defense may question the witness. I'm not terribly knowledgeable about cars, but... Cross-examination. I wouldn't be allowed. Let's see something here. It was a new car? Yeah. She had, like, just gotten it. It was, like, from the UK. The UK? Were those her boyfriend's initial? Oh my god, Your Honor, really? Are you really that dumb that you don't know the United Kingdom? And it was a really special model. She had waited for a whole year for it to arrive. I guess her love of cars would be the obvious next topic. I really don't know anything about cars, but I had a feeling this was bound to come up. Your Honor! Yes? Please have the witness append what she just said to her testimony. You mean the part about it being a special import car? Yes! Well, if you like cars that much, then that's not my point. No, to be honest, I don't know what the point is either. Miss Mighty, would you please fix your testimony? Sure, whatever. My sister's new car was like a totally special model from England. Really? So, here is the problem with this, okay? Okay, so here's the thing, okay? So for context, this court is loosely based on, I believe, the Japanese court system, or at least probably what it was. I don't know. But because it was based in the Japanese, the cars are bound, a number of cars are bound to be on the left side. Not all cars have this, but a number of cars do have it on the left. But if it was England, they have the driver's side on the right. Why they do, I don't know. So maybe somebody from the UK could probably tell me why they got it like that, but from my perspective, because I'm an American and I never lived in London, England, anywhere, I don't know. But I do know that there are cars that are on the left, and there are cars that have that have the steering wheel on the right. And because it's from England, it's on the right. So, objection! Oh wait. Oh wait. So I was on the right track, but I used the wrong evidence. Alright. Miss Mighty, do you remember this article? It's an article about the accident. You had said this in it. Quote, but I opened the right door and, got out. That's correct, isn't it? Why are you suddenly asking me about that? Your Honor, which side is the passenger's seat? The left or the right? Well, it's on the right side, of course, because the driver's on the left side. That would be if it were an American car. But it would be the opposite in a British car. Opposite? The two of them were riding in a British car. In that case, the passenger side would be the left side. What do you mean by this? Miss Mighty, you said that you had escaped using the right side door of the car. But if you were sitting there, then that means you were in the driver's seat. Order! Order in the court! Order! Order! Mr. Phoenix Wright is blabbering nonsense again. Mimi said the person who was driving was her older sister, Mimi Mighty. That is what Edie said, yes. But that is where her story falls apart. Somewhere, all of us made a big error in our assumptions. Phoenix, it looks like you finally found the real root of this murder. If we connected all the dots, there can only be one answer. I'd like to ask the court a question. Edie or Mimi? Who was really driving that night? Alright, so let's think about this, alright? It had to have been Mimi, because as Edie has said, Mimi was not really the type of person who would allow people to drive her new sports car. Well, she wouldn't allow her sister to drive it, so it had to be Mimi. So, the answer is the one person who had her driver's license, Mimi Miney. After all, that makes her the only person who could legally drive. What you just said. What's the next question? Who is the person standing at the witness stand right now? What sort of idiotic ruse is this, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? This witness's name is... I'll tell you what her name really is. This witness's real name is... Mimi Miney. That is your real name.
Objection!
Of all the foolish dribble, then how do you explain her appearance? This witness had severe facial burns when she was admitted into the hospital. So for the purpose of facial reconstruction, the surgeons used a picture. Facial reconstruction surgery? This is the picture she gave to her doctors at the time. That's right. It is a picture of her younger sister. No! But Mimi Miney, she died in a car accident. That's what everyone thought. However, that was not the case. Then, the body they found at the crash site. That was the body of the real Edie Miney. Isn't that right, Miss Mimi Miney? That car accident 1 year ago. The one who died that night was Edie Miney. Her sister Mimi then stole her face and was reborn as Edie. Without this, she effectively erased Mimi Miney from existence. Yep. Your Honor, I'm sure you can now see why Mimi had to kill Dr. Gray. What do you mean? Ah! What is the meaning of this nonsense? Dr. Gray wanted to call back the spirit of a dead person. Specifically, the spirit of his nurse that died in the crash, Mimi Miney. However, that would not have been possible, because Mimi Miney was still in fact alive. And that fact would have been discovered had the channeling been conducted. So this witness had to stop that from happening. At all costs. And that's why she had to kill Dr. Turner Gray? Is that what you're saying? Yes. Before the channeling, Dr. Gray had the misfortune of consulting this witness about communicating with the dead. And in that moment, his fate was sealed. Well, Miss Edie, Miss Von Karma. Hey! Why did you say my name just now? Looks like I've been unmasked. Witness? That's right. I admit it. My real name is Mimi Miney. That quack doctor. He got what he deserved in the end. And I was so close to finally ditching Mimi too. So close. But why? Why would you go so far as to throw away yourself? Sir. I think I understand why. Maybe Mighty wanted her own self to disappear because of this. We gotta think about this, because we don't want to fuck this up here. If you remember, it was the 14 patients who died. And she was constantly being questioned, and rumors were spreading about her in regard to that. So in order for her to be rid of me, so being able to be rid of the name of Mimi Miney, and to keep the name of Eenie Miney, she would be able to no longer have that affect her any longer. Or something to that effect. That's about the malpractice incident. Dr. Gray was right. The mistake was caused by the nurse. A nurse by the name of Mimi Miney. That's right. The person standing before us today. And a few weeks after this mishap, Mimi Miney had a car accident in which she lost her younger sister. The timing couldn't have been worse. 14 patients died in that incident, and her own sister's life extinguished. It was all too much to bear. I found a way for myself to escape it all. The only way. She lost everything in the flames of that accident. Her sister, and even her own face. This was her last chance. Her chance to throw away her past and start a new life as her sister. Unbelievable. A plan beyond my wildest imagination. That jerk. If only he hadn't thought of channeling mumbo jumbo. Mumbo jumbo? The coming lady has been the most horrible experience in the world. Spirit channeling, the occult. I hate it. I hate it all! I believe there are still a few unsolved riddles here, such as why did Miss Miney choose to go with such a complicated plan? And why did Miss Morgan Fay agree to help her execute it? Regardless, I believe one thing has been made crystal clear. The innocence of the defendant, Maya Fay. This is preposterous! I'm perfect! Me, Francisco von Karma. I'm going to enjoy the news tonight, Miss Von Karma. How about you? It's going to be broadcast all over the world, right? Your defeat, that is. Yow! Oh! Ah! Ow! Ow! God. And one more for good measure! Phoenix! Hang in there, Phoenix! Phoenix! Okay, first off, she said one more for good measurement. She whooped us like 5 times there. This court is a fraud! A sham! Now then, looks like it will be some time before Mr. Wright regains consciousness. So I will go ahead and pronounce the verdict. Not guilty! That is all. This court is adjourned. June 22nd, 3:13 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Congratulations, Maya. Sis! Oh no! Oh, such a... Oh my god. Oh, such a sweet moment right here. Oh my god, I'm gonna start crying now. Oh dude, the feels right now, man. Oh my god. This is such a sweet moment between two sisters, man. Oh, I'm literally about to cry. I need to play this some more. I'm serious. I am actually about to cry. You guys don't understand. It's very rare for me to cry at. You gotta have a special thing. You gotta have something really good happen for me to cry. Okay, and this is about to make me cry because it has been so many years. It has been so long since Maya finally has seen her sister in any way, shape, or form. The last time she's seen her sister was in case 2 when her sister died. And Maya was right there by her. Was right there beside her dead body when we entered the building, when Phoenix entered that building. And now there she is crying happy tears because she's reunited with her sister, man. It's so sweet. I love it. Anybody who doesn't cry at this, you better be crying internally at least. Because this is such a sweet moment here, man. Oh my god. It's good to see you, Maya. Also, you gotta, I also do think it's probably because Maya is crying as well. So yeah. It's good to see you, Maya. How are you doing? Sis! Sis! I didn't kill anyone, did I? No, you didn't. It was all just a dream. A really bad dream. You know, sis? In my dream, I smelled a really familiar scent. A familiar scent? I was inside that clothing box, right? That box. That was the box you used to store your clothes in a long time ago. That's right. Oh my god, dude. Oh, it's the reminiscence. Oh my god, dude. This is so... It's so sweet. Oh my god. That's right. There's still one thing I don't quite get. What's that? What would have happened if Mimi hadn't shot Dr. Ray? I mean, we broke in because we heard a gunshot. I think Mimi Miney had planned to open the door to the chamber herself. And then you and Lana would have witnessed quite a scene. A possessed Maya Fey who had just committed the murder. She had it planned down to the smallest detail, huh? Nick! Congrats, Maya. Thanks! Looks like you bailed me out of another jam. Well, you know, but I really don't want something like this to happen ever again. I'm fine because I have you to help me out, Nick. But every time something happens, I lose someone special to me. First my sister, and now my aunt. Hey, Nick, tell me why my aunt went and did something so horrible. Why would she help me remind me with a plan like that? Well, unfortunately, the truth is very simple, actually. I just don't understand it, Nick. Maya, it's over. Why don't we just let it be? Please, I need an answer. The reason Morgan helped Mimi with her plan was... It was Pearl. Here's why, okay? I already knew this beforehand, because I was looking at something real quick on my phone. I already knew this beforehand. But the reason why Morgan helped Mimi... See, Mimi, like we established in the courtroom, she intended... excuse me. She intended to kill Dr. Gray because of what happened with that car accident. And, you know, and Dr. Gray wanted to... And Dr. Gray, thinking Mimi passed away, was going to the person who he thought was Edie, but it was actually Mimi. Okay, well, let me put it to you this way. So Mimi was involved in that situation at the hospital, and in the car crash that killed her sister Edie. Okay, Mimi survived, but because of the license that was used to do the facial reconstruction surgery, she now looked like this. So now she looked like her sister Edie, and she decided then at some point to erase her past as Mimi and live a new life as Edie, okay? But then Dr. Turner Gray came to Mimi, who he thought was Edie, about trying to contact the spirit of Mimi, who Dr. Turner thought, or Dr. Gray thought was dead, but because she knew that Mimi wasn't dead because, again, Edie, she was pretending to be Edie to escape her, to finally be rid of her past, she then went to Morgan Fay with the Korean channeling technique, and she came back to him and told her about the Korean channeling technique. So that was, and so he goes to Morgan and Maya, blah blah blah. But Mimi, knowing that it would have been impossible, she then did her part that we explained in the trial, okay? Now, where does Morgan come in with all of this? Morgan, excuse me, Morgan was the, caretaker. She is a member of the Branch family, and she was watching over Maya and Pearl. Pearl is her daughter, Maya is her niece, okay? Now, here's the situation. You have these three living, okay? But you have Amy Faye. She was missing. She's been missing for so long now that in sometime later, sometime from now, if she doesn't come back, she's going to be declared deceased by the Korean village, as per their traditions. So that would have left Maya and Pearl. If Morgan is very protective, and I mean very protective of Pearl, and if you watch the anime, you will see how much protective, as well as how much of a favoritism she is, and how protective she is of Pearl, and how much favoritism she shows towards Pearl, to the point to where she's like Umbridge, okay? Morgan Fadum is like Umbridge to me. If you watch in the game, she's not really as hated because some of the flashbacks that we see in the anime are not in the game. But when you watch the anime, you hate her a lot more than you did in the game. That's sort of like with Umbridge, where in the movie of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, you hate her with a passion. Her character was made to hate her with a passion. And the actress who played as her, she played that role so well. I loved it. I hated her. I loved the actress so much because she played that character so well, because I hated Dolores Umbridge with a passion. She played that part so well. But the book, I hated her even more because she does a lot more bullshit in the book than she does in the movie. But yeah. So, the reason why Morgan was doing this for Pearl, and that's what her plan was. She was doing this for Pearl because if Maya was found guilty of the murder, that would basically make it to where Morgan Fay and Pearl Fay would be able to do this. Okay? Pearl would have been the prodigy. Yeah, so it actually was because of Pearl. Even if that logic doesn't make any sense, it is because of Pearl. And so Pearl would have been, well, yeah, you'll see it here in a moment here. Pearly? 4 years from now, a new master will be born in the Korean village. And that person will be you, Maya. But if you weren't there, then the main family's bloodline would disappear. And what would happen then? The Branch family. My aunt. No. Morgan's spiritual power is too weak. The next person would be Pearls. Ah! Everything was done for her sake. It was also that Pearls would become the next master. Yeah, I can see that. Did Maya say something just now? I think she was saying, I thought so. Date and time unknown. Detention center, solitary confinement, cell 13. Are you guys ready to see a bit of an interesting cutscene here? My precious Pearl. You are the only one suitable to be the master of Wright, dear child. I have sacrificed it all for you. I helped that brainless nurse carry out her murder, and cooperated with that whip-happy prosecutor. It was all to unseat that annoying witless-made family girl, that Maya Fay. But I shall be patient, my dearest Pearl. A chance will present itself. Your time will come. And there you go. And yes, we're not exactly quite done yet. Also trophy earned, reunion and turnabout. Next up is the episode that so many people don't like. For one reason or another, or a multitude of different reasons. Turnabout Big Top. We're going to get into that in the next episode, but for now, that is going to do it for me. Enjoy this episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. Next time, we start case number 3, Turnabout Big Top. You'll know exactly what's going to happen here at that point soon. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, this is Forrest Walpole, signing off.